What is up, guys? Welcome to Love Shack Entertainment, and today we're doing another deck profile video opening. As you could probably tell by the thumbnail and or title of the video, we are doing a Magispector deck profile today, so this is one that should be pretty cool to take a look at. Of course, one of the decks that's out there dominating the meta right now, or at least in part because of the fact that it's a Perform Mage variant, and it seems like almost every deck, with the exception of Cosmo, is playing Perform Mages, but we'll talk about that a little bit when we get into the deck. So this is actually going to be the last regular video we do before we start our 12 Days of Shacksmith event, which will be starting on the 11th of December. So it's going to be 12 days straight of videos. Not 100% sure what that's going to be 100% yet, whatever, but we're probably going to do a little bit of a holiday giveaway like we did last year as well. So there's going to be a lot to look forward to, and expect an official video within the next couple of days as far as what the official 12 Days of Shacksmith thing is going to be. So that's something to look forward to. We'll go ahead, let's go ahead. I can't speak today. Should have edited that out, but I won't. Let's go ahead and jump right into this, and we are also going to, I got a couple of proxies in here as well, and I will talk about them when we get there. So, for those of you unfamiliar with Magispector, they are a pendulum deck, mostly focused on monsters and their interactions with their own archetype support, spell and traps, and every Magispector includes the effect that it cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects, which can actually be quite annoying to play against, because things that would normally work to get over stuff, like Dark Hole, Regeki, whatever, to clear off fields, do not work against these little buggers. So, yeah, so that's the thing. So let's take a look at one of the key cards in the deck is Magispector Raccoon Bunbuku. This card is normal or special summon. You can add one Magispector monster from your deck to your hand. So it can search itself. So even if you pendulum summon it, you still get the search, which is what's one of the things that makes it really good. And it's also can't be destroyed by battle, can't be destroyed or targeted by card effects. So part of the reason it's pretty strong is just because of the fact that it's a powerful searcher that you can loop each turn by, obviously pendulum summoning it back to the field and getting your search. So that's basically the main monsters, the three of. Two Magispector Fox Kyubi. This one's a little bit stronger. When it is normal or special summon, you can add a Magispector Trap card for your deck to your hand. So a lot of the archetype-specific traps are really good, and we'll talk about them again when we get there. But Fox is also a level 4, so it has synergy with some extra deck stuff, and is a really strong first-turn play because you can get your Tempest or Tornado or whatever outs you need, depending on the matchup that you're playing in. Two Magispector Cat Nekomata. So I've seen some decks play 3. I'm not a huge fan of this card, but I understand why it's necessary. This one, when it's normal or special summon, you can add a Magispector card from your deck to your hand. However, you can only do it during the end phase. So when you normal or special it, its effect activates, you don't get the search till the end phase, which means you're stuck with a monster, especially if you're normal summoning it with 100 attack points, that's going to get run down pretty easily. But if you are able to pendulum summon in a defense mode, it's got an 1800 body, so you can, not that that's unkillable, but definitely gives it a little bit more merit than if you were to summon in attack mode. Still, I don't like having to play it at 2, but I get why they do it, and I really do wish it was level 4, because I think it would have so much more synergy with other aspects of the deck. And then one Magispector Crow, Yada. So Yada's the one that searches dispels. Part of the reason it's good, though, is being obviously a scale 5, but also a level 4 wind for Chidori plays and things like that, and honestly, getting your Cyclone early isn't always a bad thing, so sometimes it's nice just to have that as an option. And the last Magispector we play is Unicorn. This is level 6. You can't actually pendulum summon this in the deck, at least not with what we play, but it's still a cool card because during either player's turn, you can target a pendulum monster you control. I believe, yeah, it has to be in your monster card zone, and one monster your opponent controls, bounce them back to the hand. So it's really cool to get over stuff, kind of like a pseudo Pleiades almost, and the fact that your opponent can't target it or destroy it with card effects makes it powerful, because they really do have to go above and beyond to get over it. Two Maxi. Now, this card for me, which is ironic when you consider the fact that, everything's pendulum decks and all that stuff, it just doesn't seem as useful as it did when decks like Nekroz, BA, Shadal's were still running rampant. I mean, yeah, it almost always pays for itself, and if you chain it to, like, Wavering Eyes with Plushfire and stuff, you can really force your opponent to either, let you get the draws or really cripple their plays. But I do feel like it dead draws sometimes, and I find myself siding it out a lot. Still a good card, and I really want to wait and see what the the format looks like once things kind of get settled in before I decide on whether or not I want to just keep it as a sideboard card or keep it in the main. Now, of course, the engine that everyone is playing, 2 Perform Mage Damage Juggler. This is obviously a really good card. You can discard it to stop yourself from taking damage, and then you can banish it from your graveyard to search a Perform Mage from the deck. I'm going to assume anyone watching this video that is interested in learning about the deck at least a little is going to be familiar with the Perform Mages to an extent. One Mirror Conductor. So this is like a shield and sword, basically. You can switch the attack and defense of an opponent's monsters that was special summoned. The thing that is kind of unfortunate about it is the fact that it's like 600, and it's just kind of like it can be a dead draw. Being a scale 3, it doesn't. If it was a 5 or a 2, it would work a lot better to kind of go along with the scales that we have here. But it is what it is, and I'll explain why we play it in a second. Triple Performage Plush Spires. This card's obviously broken as shit, and I've not seen a lot of people that would dispute that. So this one, when it's destroyed on the field at all, so it doesn't matter whether it's in the Pendulum Zone or Monster Zone, you can special summon a Performage monster from your hand or deck, and there is no once per turn restriction on that. So obviously the Wavering Eyes combo, as well as combos with other monsters in deck, you can just do all sorts of silly shenanigans. And then it does include a Pendulum effect. If it's in the Pendulum Zone and a Performage card you control is destroyed, you can then special summon it as a monster. You take 500 damage. So that effect isn't used as much, but it's a nice insurance policy, to say the least. One Performage Hat Tricker. It's another name. It can be summoned off of that, and basically it just helps to speed up your plays for rank 4s. And one Performage Trick Clown. So this is always a good card, and it's funny because when this card came out, I honestly thought it was going to be what was really busted about the deck, or at least as far as the Performages were concerned. Definitely think Plush Fire is way worse, but Trick Clown's still a good card. Definitely has a lot of utility in the deck. So that's the Performage engine. Numbers can vary depending on your build and personal preference, but I think that's a pretty good number. And then 3 Luster Pendulum and Draco Slayer. So like I said, I am proxying 2 of these. I'm waiting for the special edition to come out next week because I really don't want to drop 50 a piece on these. There's just really no point. I don't think it's worth it. And I just think the card is overly priced. But it's necessary for the deck for sure. And it basically enables your combos with Plush Fire because you pop Plush Fire, you get the special summon, and then you get to search another Plush Fire. You can basically do the same thing next turn. With Wavering Eyes as well. Plus, it's a tuner, so you can Synchro Summon for Ignister Prominence, and that's non-targeting removal that can get over big threats like Cosmo spaceships and stuff. So that's it for the monsters. Can't say enough about Luster Pendulum and how important it is, and definitely need to run 3. It's way too critical to the deck, especially in the Magispector variant. It's great in the other variants too, like the Gem Knight, all that crap, but it's way more necessary here, I think, just because of how slow this deck can be at times. For the spells, 2 Majesty's Pegasus. It's a field spell. All Magispector monsters gain 300 attack and defense. Once per turn, you contribute a winged spellcaster to special summon a level 4 or lower Magispector from your deck. So this more or less is used to fill up your Pendulum Zones and also get special summons from the deck, get extra searches, things like that. It kind of goes without saying. Sucks it's not a Magispector because it can't be searched with Crow, but I could see why that would set up some silly combos nonetheless. 2 Magispector Cyclone, quick play spell, tribute a wind spellcaster type monster you control, destroy 1 monster your opponent controls. So, unfortunately it does target, which sucks because it doesn't really hurt Cosmo all that much, but at the same time, it's still a powerful card, and it's definitely one of those cards that the deck has to get over, especially rogue decks, but, other threats on the board as well. And then 1 Magispector Storm, tribute a wind spellcaster type monster, target 1 monster your opponent controls, shuffle it into the deck. If this was a quick play spell, it'd be amazing, but obviously it's not, because I think that'd be kind of a little bit too much. It's still a decent one of it, just a name and another target that Yada can search. I'm not a huge fan of the card at all, to be honest with you. I literally just play it because it's an alternative, to things that can't be destroyed by card effects and things like that. So it's decent, I guess, but I'm not a huge fan. 2 MST, you get over vanities, you can stop your opponent from setting their scales. Of course, it sucks, you don't want to MST a Plush Fire, but if you can hit a Draco Slayer or something like that and disrupt scales, it's definitely important. And in desperate situations, you can pop your own Plush Fire too to really get your plays going. But the better way, of course, to pop your own Plush Fire is this little number, Wavering Eyes, which I think is more or less a 3 of now in every deck other than Cosmo. Pop all the cards in the Pendulum Scales, and then you get all sorts of effects. This is basically like busted with Plush Fire because you can pop Plush Fire or Luster, and if your opponent has scales, you pop those too. Then you get to banish, you get to search another copy of this, you can special summon, you do all sorts of shenanigans. So Wavering Eyes is really like the card that makes these decks go, and I do think it's going to see a hit of some kind because I just think eventually it's going to get to a point where this card is going to be defining matchups, and other cards aren't going to matter as much. So that's my own personal opinion. I just think the card is a little bit too strong for its own good. Guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. For now, make use of it. Then One Regeki. Why not? I mean, you Pendulum Summon, you can swarm the field, spam the board, and go for game much more easily if you can clear your opponent's field. Obviously, this doesn't work as well against Magispectors because they can't be destroyed by card effects, but in the mirror match, you're going to play a lot of different, a little bit more of a grind anyway. And then for the traps, 2 Magispector Tornado, tribute 1 wind spellcaster monster you control, then target 1 monster your opponent controls and banishes. So this is cool because it's non-destruction removal. It does get over some stuff, but of course, it still targets, which means it doesn't hit your the Cosmos spaceships and things like that. And obviously Banishment only hurts Cosmos so much. Still a cool card, and definitely useful to get over things like Clusterfire. It'd be awesome if you could hit like a Spell or Trap with this too, because then you could knock Scales out, but I understand the reasoning behind it, I suppose. 2 Magispector Tempest, quick play trap card. I can't speak today. Counter trap card. When a monster will be special summons, that's only inherent summons, or a monster effectively activated, tribute a wind spellcaster type monster you control, negate the summon, and destroy it. So, basically, turn 1, you summon QB, search this, and set. Your opponent knows it's there, but they're kind of forced to play around it, and you can, against Cosmo and things like that, you can definitely shift the game a little bit in your favor. So Tempest becomes increasingly good later in the game. Solemn Warning, again, you stop in Mass Pendulum summons, things like that. There's no reason not to play it. And Bottomless for the same reason, just because it's a powerful, powerful tool to get over the Pendulums, which just seems to be one of those things that's kind of dominating the whole board, the whole game right now, which is okay, because it does make the mirror match a little bit more skillful. As far as extra deck, this is not 100% yet, so don't, take it for what it is. 1 Lightning Chidori, 1 Manchester Paladin, the Ascending Draco Slayer. This is a really good card. It's really good search power. And we also play 2 Ignister Prominence, which is a synchro. I just don't have any yet. I actually sold all of them off when they were low, or not low, but like when they started to rise, quote unquote, and then they rose even more, and now I'm regretting it, but whatever, it's fine. I'm going to pick up some more when the special edition comes out next week, and we'll definitely be doing some special edition openings as part of the 12 Days of Shaxmas event that I mentioned earlier. Diamond Crab, really just a placeholder. I got to find something else, because I just don't think it's necessary anymore without towers running rampant, but it is nice to swing into Dark Destroyer, get over Forerunner, things like that. 1 Totem Bird, awesome card. Really good because your Magispectors are wins, so this, sets up for Spell Trap Negation. Performance Trapeze Magician, another amazing, amazing card that I'm still shocked was actually a rare. The card is extremely good and really enables OTKs to the point where if you're playing Pendulums and or Spellcasters and you're not using it, I really just question the reasoning. 1 Castel, he's always good. 1 Shark, both good, both get over stuff. Diamond Direwolf, card that's become a lot better lately than it was. Really powerful, detach material, target 1 Beast Warrior, Wing Beast, but this is just like 1-for-1 spot removal that lets you get over almost anything that's in your way, so that's what makes it so good. Dark Rebellion, Xyz Dragon, I don't think that one really needs to be explained. Abyss Dweller, not quite as good as it was before, but it's still useful against a lot of matchups. And then Cowboy, Ragnar Zero, Rhapsody, and Berserk. So basically, you're just generic rank 4 slates, although we do have some 3s. I don't go into 3s too often, and when you do, Totem Bird's what you want there, so yeah, this is the Magispector deck profile video, and I of the understanding that some people aren't going to like it, some people are going to criticize the choices, so feel free to do so. Drop a comment down below. I would love to engage you all in some discussion, and again, this will more than likely be the last video until the 12 Days of Shaxmas event begins, although that's not guaranteed. Who knows? We'll see what happens, but definitely something to look forward to. All sorts of cool stuff coming up. Clash of Rebellions, Master of Pendulum, Structure Deck, things like that, but until next time, hope you all are enjoying the start of the holiday season, and I will see you right here at Love Shack Entertainment.